Hey, what up everyone? I'm Sinnycool, and this is Gems of War. And today we have three teams for you. Three teams. Trace. Uno, dos, tres. Three teams. World event, two of them. And the faction event for Fell Roost. So world event and faction event. Two teams for the world event, one for faction event. Right here you have the team I'm going to use. So it has legendaries, but I'm going to show a team with no mythics, no legendaries for other people. And then Fell Roost, I'm going to show me getting to level 500 in the underworld with the team that I'm going to show that you should use for the event today. It can make it all the way to 500. I'm going to show it on this video. Alright, so here's the team I'm using. Web Spinner, Marilith, Doomed Club, and Wrath. I kind of went back and forth with Wrath and Glaceon. I wasn't sure, but I think this has got the most synergy. It's got a little bit of synergy, but anyway, Web Spinner does triple skull damage to webbed enemies, and the way that works, when he does skull damage, he applies a web. So he does triple skull damage to webbed enemies. The way it works is that he webs first, and then it calculates the skull damage. So he always gets that triple skull damage as long as he's in first slot doing the skull damage himself. So kind of a waste of a trait, but also not complaining because it's really awesome. So, well, you know, it is what it is. So really awesome, though. It's one of the best skull damaging troops in the game, Web Spinner. And definitely use it if you got it. Then Marilith gonna make all your mana for you, doing a bunch of explosions. So you got your enchant potion, your explode potion, then your Marilith, which is gonna explode the whole board and do true damage. So that's gonna get everyone else up. Between the enchant potion, the explode potion, and the Marilith, you should be good to go. And then as you can see there, I lose the Web Spinner sometimes, but it's not a big deal. Boom, boom, done. The metal is the event, like always. The metal does extra skull damage, like 160% or something, or more. So it doesn't even matter if you have the Web Spinner, but it's best if you use the Web Spinner. I mean, it does the most. Because I was using Glaceon yesterday, so if you want to see a different high-level team, I did one yesterday with Glaceon and Wrath. But Glaceon was starting to not one-shot, so Web Spinner is better. But yeah, just if you want to see a different team, like maybe you don't have Web Spinner, but you do have Glaceon and Wrath or something, there's another team yesterday. But yeah, this is the team I'm using. The Doomed Club turns green into Doom Skulls, so the Web Spinner, when it does cast on you know, limited occasions, will make like 9 green or something, and then your Doomed Club can turn those into Doom Skulls. So a little bit of synergy going on, kinda, a little bit. And yeah, then the Wrath will turn blue into brown, and Wrath and the Doom Club both use brown, so that's good. So a little bit of synergy here. It's not like awesome synergy, but it is a little bit with the restrictions. It's about as best as I could figure out. So, but put your teams in the comments if you have something better for the Web Spinner. But this is what I came up with. Web Spinner doing the sculling, Meredith doing the mana generation, Doom Club taking advantage of the green that Web Spinner would make, and also doing skulls, and Wrath turning blue into brown to help out getting Doom Club and himself up to make more skulls. Which that's the event: skull, skull, skull. So Web Spinner, Web Spinner, Web Spinner, like I was saying yesterday. And doesn't matter if you even lose the Web Spinner; it's going to kill 2 or 3 enemies first, and you'll be fine. The event is the metal. Don't worry about it. But yeah, team coming up with no legendaries, no mythics for everyone else that doesn't have these troops. So just hold tight. And then Fell Roost team for you that can go all the way to 500. Proving it on video here in this video. I get the little baby dragon pet on video here. Super happy with that. So I'm using Plague Lord because it has a Doom Storm. The thing with Plague Lord is you can use the Doom Storm, Sudden Doom, until you don't feel comfortable with it anymore. Then you can change that to Rock Solid. So Use the Doomstorm as long as you can. Like you see at the bottom of the screen, we got extra skulls coming down. It's a Doomstorm. It's a storm of skulls, which we need skulls. So that's why I'm using the Doomstorm from Plague Lord. But once you don't feel comfortable with that anymore, change to Rock Solid so when you match Brown, you get a barrier. I think that works pretty well. Use the Doomstorm until maybe you start losing your hero here, and then change to Rock Solid. But we have Mang, Wall of Tentacle, Merilith. This is what I came up with for lower level players. Your Mang is going to strip armor and turn it into attack. Also, using Plague Lord or Titan or Sentinel, you can do a barrier or have a Doomstorm with the Plague Lord at least. And the Wall of Tentacles will give you mana. It gives itself armor, so in case your hero dies like that, it's still pretty beefy and it can still win the battle. And the double Wall of Tentacles will help get Merilith up and itself back up, so that works out good. And then the Merilith, once again, exploding, doing true damage. In case you lose your hero, you can do a little bit of damage while your Wall of Tentacle tries to skull them down. Like you see here, this is a deep battle with a low-level person team, so you might lose your hero. And I wasn't using Rock Solid, I was using the Sudden Doom, so if you had used Rock Solid there, you might not have died with your hero. But it doesn't matter if you lose troops in this world event. And your Wall of Tentacles is going to be giving itself a bunch of armor until your hero dies, so it's not a big deal. You'll still have your beefed up Wall of Tentacles to skull them down. So I think this will work for anybody. Good old Merilith in both teams. Wall of Tentacles, whenever you can use that, it's usually a pretty good mana generator. Gives everyone 5 mana, then gives itself a bunch of armor. And Mang, we all know Mang. If it's an event based around skulls, and you can use Mang, you might as well. And like I said earlier, I'm using Plague Lord because it has Sudden Doom. So any class that has Sudden Doom, I'd recommend for the early battles. And then switch into something with Rock Solid once you start getting deep. That way you can have your barrier when you match Brown for Mang. But I would use the Doomstorm, the Sudden Doom, as long as you can. It's any class with the Chaos Tree. And I'm recommending Plague Lord because it also has Rock Solid. So you can do both. You can do the Sudden Doom. They're both on the same level, so you can't do them both at the same time. But you can use Sudden Doom until you don't feel comfortable anymore, and then you can switch into Rock Solid and still use the same class if you want. Other classes that have Chaos, I'm going to do a video on this, I think. I'm going to do a video about classes and their storms, but other classes that have Sudden Doom, I think Archmagus has it. Then Plague Lord, obviously. I think Sorcerer or something like that. And then like either Doomsayer or something. Just look for the Chaos Tree if you want to try out different classes for the Sudden Doom, because you need a Doomstorm for this event. You want more skulls falling so you can use that metal. But the goal here is to kill Gargantuar and Shade of Zorn, so whenever you see them, make sure you go after them. And one of the campaign tasks is to kill Gargantuar, and I haven't even finished it yet, so we'll be getting that done today. I think I've killed him 3 or 4 times just on this, just making this video, so not a big deal. Then the other campaign task is to beat a I think level 90 Delve 3 times. So you can probably do that with the Fell Roost faction event today, so should be able to get all your campaigns done by the end of today. So yeah, that was your 2 world event teams. One for people that don't have legendaries, and one for high-level players that do have Web Spinner and Wrath and stuff like that. So here's your Fell Roost team. That's the faction assault for today. It's Fell Roost. I'm not showing it in the event. This is no potions on level 490 down in the underworld in Fell Roost. Triple finesse, Nimbus bow. You'll see me beat level 490 with this team. That's why I'm recommending you use this team for the event. Showing it right here. This is the proof why you should. It can go all the way to 500 if you want. Does it get difficult towards the end? Of course it does. Of course it does. What I would recommend is anytime there's skulls, make sure you take them or cast the Nimbus Bow to get rid of them. You don't want the enemy doing skulls to you until you build up your finesses. And more of an emphasis on the Nimbus Bow towards the end of the faction. Once you get in the deep, high levels, you want to be casting that Nimbus Bow like priority over finesse, because the Nimbus Bow is man, I should have done something different with this mic. Hope I did okay. The Nimbus Bow will give you extra turns, and the extra turns will build up your finesses. And so every extra turn you get, your finesse gets 12 to all stats, as long as you have 3 of them. Once you lose a finesse, you're gonna get diminishing returns on that. So once you lose a finesse, you might want to bail if you're like super deep in the delves. I never bail on anything. I'm not a quitter, but it seemed like once I lost finesse, especially if it was early on, like in the first couple levels, then I was done, because you got to have 3 of them to get that 12 to every stat every time you get an extra turn. And once you lose one, you get diminishing returns. And if you lose another one and you only got 1 finesse, then you're kind of screwed. But yeah, I'm not saying it's easy, but I'm just showing that it's possible with this team to get all the way to 500 if you want. And with potions, you should be fine. I have no potions here. No potions here, and I'm doing it. But like I said, to be completely honest, yesterday I was trying this, and it wasn't going as well. But today, I tried it twice, and I got through both times. I beat level 480 and 490, losing no troops in Fell Roost. So, and I get the Dark Helmet pet, or whatever it's called, the little baby dragon. I end up getting it right here on video. So stay till the end if you want to see that. But yeah, once you get towards the higher levels, in the very beginning of the event, you want to do, you want to cast your finesse just as soon as possible, because you're gonna one-shot. You're gonna get that mana from having the storm always active, from using Stormcaller. So make sure you use Stormcaller fully traded, because you'll have that yellow storm falling the whole time, at the start of every turn, and that's what finesse gets its mana from. Every time there's a storm, it gets 5 mana every time it casts, so then it gives 5 mana to the next finesse. That one casts, it gives 5 mana to the next finesse. That one casts, it gets the first one up again. That one casts, it gets the second one up again. That one casts, it gets the third one up again. You know what I mean? And then your Nimbus Bow, you make a Stormcaller. That way it's a Strix also, so it's gaining all the benefits also, because it's also a Strix. But yeah, in the beginning of the event, you want to just cast the finesses. And then there's a point in the further and further you get that you want to start switching to casting the Nimbus Bow. Make the Nimbus Bow the priority. That way you can build up those extra turns, get those stats, make your magic higher, make your armor, your health higher, your attack higher. And then you also want to start taking some skulls. Like right now, like on level 20 or 30 or 40, or you know, the early levels, you almost want to ignore the skulls and just go with finesse, one-shotting 2 people at once. But the further in you get, there's more of an emphasis on you taking the skulls so they don't take them. And you doing the Nimbus Bow so you get extra turns. That way you can build up your finesses to get those stats, because you're gonna need them. You might need a extra 50 armor to survive, or you might need that extra magic to do extra damage and get them out of there quicker. Another tip, once you're deep in, make sure you kill the eggs, the dragon eggs. You want to kill those first, because you don't want them summoning and making the battles take longer. So always target down those summoners first in the end. In the beginning, you know, it's still true. I guess all the way through you want to target down the eggs first, but also target yellow enemies. And if there's a yellow enemy in first, do skulls, because it does double damage versus yellow enemies, whether it's skulls or casting. So, you know, always target yellow enemies, but you want to get those eggs out of there. You want to get those Val Ravens out of there. Anything that's going to kill you, you want to get those out of there. Like there's like a frost lizard super deep. that could kill you if it casts like twice. So if you're not getting a ton of extra turns and building up your durability, you might want to target out that frost lizard or whatever it is. I can't remember exactly, but it killed me once or twice. But the main threat was usually getting that summoner out of there, not letting them have skulls, making sure you build up your extra turns to get extra durability and magic to shorten the battle, and all that. You'll see this is not going quickly. It's level 490 Fel Roost, so. But I get another pet, and it was the one I was going after, because I like the way it looks. And that's how I'm basing how I'm getting delve pets. And I could have done this like during the event today, but I was already so close. I didn't want to go through a whole event all the way to level 500 when I was already on level 480 down there. So I just went ahead, did it like this. That still will help you do the event because it's the same faction. I'm actually making it harder on myself by doing level 490 without potions. You'll have potions. You won't even need to do this high of a level, but I'm showing it's possible with this team because some people would recommend something else, thinking that maybe this team wouldn't be able to make it all the way, but I just want to show that it can. Not easy, obviously. Like I said, it's not easy, but it can do it, and it's pretty consistent all the way up to like level 400. But once you get to 400, anything's gonna have trouble except for like High King Iron Gut. So I don't think it's a knock on this team. You just have to be more careful. Be more careful. Don't let them have skulls. Don't skull bait anymore once you get to a certain... Because that guy, look at that, 274 attack. If he hits me twice, I'm probably dead. So you gotta watch that. Build up your durability so it takes 3 skulls instead of 2. Take the skulls so they don't take them. Do your Nimbus bow if that's not, to change the board so there's no skulls. Get rid of those Val Ravens. Get rid of those eggs. Get rid of anything that you deem dangerous to your team, like a frost lizard or whatever. And you should be okay, because you're going to have potions. I recommend getting the explosion and enchant potion for Tuesday events. You're going to have potions, and you're not going to have to go nearly as far. I think you only need to go to level like 110 or something to get all the rewards. You can see there I got Deep Delver ready to collect. And I got to level 500. Right there. Just beat 490. Now I'm on 500. Don't even need to do it. Probably just do Pure Faction there. And yeah, triple finesse Nimbus bow. If you don't have Nimbus bow, you can use Mountain Crusher, EOE, Reflection of Good, whatever you have that's going to help your team. But the 3 finesses is the main thing. Try to meddle them if you can. But Dark Helmet, just got it, so excited. Been getting lots of stuff lately. Got Zul'Goth a few months ago. Got my 3rd Nisha medal. Got my Sun Spear to 100. Got, almost got Paragon back. I got 2nd place, dang it. And now got my Dark Helmet pet. So nice, little baby dragon I can pop on my shoulder. I love flexing my delve pets because they're hard to get, as you can see there. That took me a while of doing delves every day. Gems of War cardio for life. Do your cardio and you can get stuff like this. That's all from cardio right there. I did Fel Roost every day, almost every day. It was probably like every other day, something like that. That's all from Gems of War cardio. That's how I got that pet. But yeah, so there was 3 teams for you. 1 for high level players, 1 for lower level players using Mang, and then your faction event team that can go all the way to 500. Like, share, subscribe, consider joining, tell your guild, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.